All right. All right. Well, you guys, I'm really excited about the upcoming challenge, our upcoming tribe challenge. And to the point that over the next really 10 days, this is my sole focus. Even everything that I'm doing during the day is really built around this challenge and making sure that you guys have everything that you need to succeed with it. I'm going to mute out, or if you are not muted, if you guys want to just hit mute, that would be awesome. I'm having a little bit of feedback on my end. So if you guys could try to mute out, that would be great. Or I can also try to mute you. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. All right. I'll unmute you guys in just a second. I was just hearing some feedback on my end, but I'm really excited about this challenge, the Tribe Challenge. It's something that we ran this challenge probably about 6 to 8 months ago, and we had a lot of success from it. And so we're coming back and doing it again for the second go around. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what it is, the purpose of the challenge, and that type of thing. So I think that first and foremost, the goal out of this challenge really is for you guys to, all of you, to rank advance, to go to the next level. We're going to be focusing on skills. So really how to connect. We're going to focus on how to follow up. We're going to focus on your social media. We're going to really work on reactive business versus proactive business and really help you figure out what your strength is. So for me, my strength is actually proactive business versus reactive business, where I'm stronger in going out and finding people and bringing them in. Some of you are stronger in actually building your stories online and having people contact you and you bringing them in. And so we're going to be working on figuring out what your strength is so that we can really build on that strength. Now, what we're going to, as far as the tribe and what is going to be required for you to go forward in the program, it will be, and it is very focused. And so I'm going to kind of go over this tonight. If it doesn't work for you or you're feeling like this is not my time, I'm going to ask you just to let me know that. That's okay. And we'll run this again probably in about 6 months. And you can hop on when we come back and we do it again. But we will have for 10 days. So, and it's going to be Sunday through Thursday. We'll have off Friday and Saturday. We'll come off and we'll go through Sunday through Thursday again at 9 p.m. We will have calls. The calls will typically be about 30 minutes a piece. They're going to be training, and there will also be activity. There'll be an activity or a challenge given to you after every call. Now, during the process, what it will look like is tonight is call 1, and then tomorrow will be call 2. And then the next night on Tuesday night, that is our typical team call. We're not going to add in another tribe call. We're going to teach the tribe skill on that team call. So you'll just get on like 9 o'clock as always. And except the only difference is you're going to hear some recognition and just a little bit of crowing of who's had some amazing product results. And then we'll do a skill on that team call. And then Thursday night at 9 p.m., Thursday night at 9 p.m., then that call is going to be an opportunity call. And so I know some of you guys are on different time zones, and so I'll work with you a little bit more individually with that, but that's what that's going to look like. So we're not going to have 2 calls in one night. So it's not like on Tuesday night we'll do the team call and then the tribe call. It's all going to be the same. So every night will be at 9 p.m. and then on Friday and Saturday there will be no call. Now, the requirement, or what we're really looking at doing, is for you to win. First of all, there's a mug that you can win, the tribe mug. In order to win that, you basically need to do 25 opportunity shares. Now, I am going to be a little bit probably more, the more we're developing executives right now, the more I'm becoming confident and I guess resolved in a couple of things. And so you have to do 25 calls to get the mug. If you have 10 active personally enrolled, you can do those calls on your own without your executive. If you do not have 10 active personally enrolled, they have to be with your executive. And I don't care if you've been in Isagenix 10 years or 8 years and you're like, Amy, I've listened to 300 training calls. It doesn't matter. Sometimes we just need to be infused with something new and someone else to push us over the edge. And so this isn't a pride thing. It can't be like, I know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to get help. We're not going to go there because our goal is to get you unstuck. And one thing that I know about a very strong, proactive, whole fact three-way phone call is it is easier to actually close a recruit. And so we not only want to help you get trained, but also to get closure. And so those calls, until you're at 10 active, they are with your executive. Does that make sense? So in 10 days' time, your goal is to do 25 calls with your executive. Now, 10 of them have to be, I'm saying opportunity shares. 10 of them, if you do not have 10 people, 10 of those opportunity shares do have to be three-way. So it's you, your executive, and another person, okay? Otherwise, you can also use the Thursday night opportunity Zooms to count. So let's say that you and I do 10 three-way calls this week, and on Thursday night, you have 10 guests on. That's 20 of your calls. I hope that makes sense. So you can use Thursday nights. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure my kids are fighting over clothes upstairs. I'm going to try to ignore it for now. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so that's how the 25 opportunity shares are. They probably are fighting over those pants, Katie. I'm sure they are. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I mean, it is like World War III. Like I can hear it. Shane just went up there to deal with them. So anyway, so that's the opportunity shares. And then when you personally enroll 4 people, then you get the t-shirt. And I know that you guys probably have the picture already of what those prizes are. So that's what that looks like. We will be, so tonight's call 1, tomorrow we're going to start straight into the skills. And so, what I want to know tonight, though, whenever we get off of the Zoom call, I just need to know whether you're in. If you're like, yeah, I'm in, I need to know that so that I can get you into a temporary Facebook group, because I hate having a million Facebook groups, so it'll be literally a 10-day group and then it's going to go away. But it's the best way to communicate. So if you're in and you're like, I'm going to do it, I just need to know that you're going to do it so that we can go forward. I do want to dig in tonight though, and I want to talk to you just a little bit about your why so that tomorrow we can go straight into skill. And so I think it's so important that you really are understanding why you're doing what you're doing with Isagenix. And I'm not going to get into a really sulky, let's cry and hug each other and sing Kumbaya kind of why. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk to you guys like business people that are on a mission. And so you've got to know, what is it that's really driving your business? I mean, for me, I was telling Mallory this week, we were talking, and I was telling her that for so long, I have said to people, my goal is to max out my business center. My goal is to max out my business center. And I say it because I'm supposed to say it. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Because it's what I'm supposed to say, I say it. Everyone's supposed to say, my goal is to max out my business center. I will tell you, in all reality, that's farthest from the truth, because right now we are in a crazy place with our family. We're planning a wedding. Alyssa has another boxing competition coming up. We have club volleyball starting. Alyssa's a junior, Callie's a sophomore, and we are in a very incredibly busy time of family life. And so I am unwilling to do the travel that it takes to max out a business center right now, period. Like, I can say it all day long because it's the right thing and it sounds great, but it's not authentic or true to me. When I look at what is my goal is from October 1st until October 1st to make $368,000. Because when I make $368,000, it pays off my mortgage, it pays off any old loans, it pays off my car note, and we're 100% debt free. And so literally that drives me. And why does it drive me? This is why it drives me. I mean, this is raw and real. Do I love ministry? Yeah. Do I love helping people? Yes. Do I love helping people with their health? Yes. But there was a point in my life that the number one cosmetic company in the world sued me. And when that happened, I was paying out all of this money, and I was having letters from people saying, we're going to take your house if you can't do this. We're going to take your car if you can't do this. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And the financial pressure was so awful that I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna be in that spot again in my life. I'm never gonna be in a spot where my kids ask me to do something, my decision is based upon my finances. That's my why. It's not fluffy. It's not anything that some people could relate to. But for me, it drives me. And it gets me out of bed, and it gives me the grit to follow through and to go through. And so you've got to look at that for yourself and get real with you of why is it that you're doing it. And you've got to really come to the conclusion of why is it that you're doing it. Once you've decided that, the other thing that I really want to talk to you guys about tonight, and we talked about this, I've been talking about this with my girls all day long. We just experienced a pretty crazy thing with my youngest daughter. She's played volleyball since she was in 4th grade. She's never set the bench. She's always felt very like I'm, very confident in her skills, that type of thing. And the very end of the season, she had a conflict, and that conflict just created a snowball effect of bad plays, bad decisions, bad attitude, bad choices, bad relationships. And she got to the point where literally she was saying things like, I'm going to quit, I'm not playing next year, and give up on the one thing that she had already given everything else up in her life for. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is we had to really work through that with her and really talk to her about harnessing her emotions and not making a decision based out of anger or hurt to give up something that could ultimately be, it's kind of her side passion, and to give that up out of anger or hurt would be the wrong thing. And so she has to learn how to harness her emotion and get control of that. And so with Isagenix, it's really the same thing, because what I know is if you're on this call, and some of you, I have seen you on these calls 1 time ago or 2 times ago or 3 times ago, and I don't look at you and go, you've been on here 3 times, come on. That's not my mindset at all. My mindset is this: once you've made a decision that you're going to do it, and you stick with it, that's the day that it changes, and that's the day that it happens. But I believe that most people quit on their goal and stop right before the breakthrough. And I think almost every time it's an emotional decision, a decision based upon comparison that created a negative emotion, or a relationship issue, a downline, an upline, some type of issue that stops someone dead in their tracks and they don't move forward. And so this time around, when we go through this, this is what I'm asking you for. I'm asking you for 10 days. I'm not asking you for 10 years. I'm not asking you for 10 weeks. I'm asking you for 10 days of 100% controlled emotion. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Where you've made a decision that this is the work that I'm going to do, and you're going to go in and you're going to do it, understanding that your feelings are going to lie. And there's going to be times that you're looking around and you're seeing other people are doing things in their life, and you're like, this is kind of hard, but you're gathering up that emotion and not basing any decision upon that. And so what that looks like, I believe, is number one, to make a decision that you're going to do the work. And the work is to get the skills by listening to the training. You have to be on at least 7 out of the 10 calls live. Why live? Because there's energy live. Why live? Because I get on at 9 o'clock live. I know that I don't mean that in a bad way, but this is what I know. I know that people will say things like, Amy, you don't work full time. And I'm like, listen, come live in my house for a minute and look at what my daughters do and what my husband does and what our lives are like, and tell me whether or not what we do isn't comparable to somebody that's working a full-time job. So I get on at 9 o'clock, whether I feel like it or I don't feel like it. And so that's what we're looking for, a 9 o'clock commitment at least 7 out of the 10 times. If you miss 3, you have to listen to the recording. So it's a decision to get on and get the training. And the other decision is that you are going to find a way, make a way to do those 25 calls. Find a way, make a way. There's no excuse. There's just not. It's not, I don't know the people. We're going to learn how to find them. And so that's really what we're looking for, is to make the decision. When the decision's made, that's your first step in harnessing your emotion. The next step is a decision to take the coaching. And so you've got to make the decision to take the coaching. And so most of you that are new, this isn't a problem. Like if you've been in 3 or 4 months, to get on the call with someone else is not a problem. However, there are some of you that are that you've been in a long time, but you don't have 10 active people. And to get on a 3-way call is a little bit of bristling of the ego. But I'm asking you to take the coaching, because if you've been in 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, and you don't have 10 active people and you're continuously talking to someone, I'm telling you, there's something that can be tweaked. And the minute you can figure out what can be tweaked, why would you not? Why would you not? And so it's a decision to take the coaching. The next thing is this. It's a decision to not let any negativity take you by surprise. Do not let it take you by surprise. For me, literally, I have this huge goal, right? I have a goal, $368,000 to pay off my debt. I am not surprised when all hell breaks loose. I set the goal, and literally, my oldest daughter flunked a nursing exam. My youngest daughter started having all of these problems on her team. My middle daughter, well, she's not had any problems, thank God, this last week. But I mean, it just like things, like I set the goal, and literally I start having more pressure in all these different areas than what I feel like I've had in my entire life. But you know what? I am not taken by surprise. It does not take me by surprise, and it does not stop me. Because what I know is when I step out and the pressure comes, I'm going to run into it. I'm not taken by surprise. so I don't get emotional. Like, yeah, I might get fired up for a minute, but I don't go to bed and pull the covers over my head and think, gosh, things are really hard. I better wait a month until it gets better. Because you know what? It doesn't get better. Because anytime you step out, you're going to notice the pressure. I mean, it's part of hell breaking loose on your life in all reality, because anytime you set out for your destiny, I mean, the word tells us that the enemy comes to steal and kill and destroy. And so that's what's happening. I'm aware of it. I'm not taken by surprise. So when you step out, you've got to know that so you don't get emotional about it. I mean, emotions are a great thing. They're fluffy and they're nice and they warn us. But when we live by emotion in this business, what happens is we work one day, the next day we don't. One day we think we're going to be an amazing entrepreneur, and the next day we're wondering if we're going to go bankrupt. And the next day we're going to go all the way to the top. And then the next day we think we're just going to go get another job. And then network marketing's awesome. And then network marketing sucks. And then all my friends like me, and now they don't. You guys have to know what I'm talking about. You can't do that. That's what kills people, and that's draining. And then you go to bed and you're like, man, I worked so hard. And I'm like, no, you struggled mentally so hard. What did you do? How many opportunity shares did you do? If you did 10 opportunity shares, you worked hard. If you did 3, you worked. If you did 5, you worked medium. I mean, to get real with yourself, because what happens is this. So you sleep a little later. You're like, I can do it I'll do it tomorrow. It'll be okay. And it feels good for a second. And then you're like, man, that person's so lucky who just passed me up. No, they gathered their emotion. And so you've got to gather that emotion. The next thing is this. You've got to understand that controlling your feelings, it's a skill. It is a skill set that I've learned. When things come my way, am I dealing with stuff in my life? Every day I deal with stuff every day. But this is the deal. If I stop my business to go deal with a problem, and then I get held back in my feelings, what happens is it doubles my trouble. Because now my self-confidence went down because I'm not working my business. I'm wondering what's wrong with me. And then I still have this other problem. I'm dwelling on it. What you feed grows, what you dwell on grows. And so you can't do that. What you've got to do is you've got to recognize it as a skill, controlling it. So you've got to get very skilled in that. And we're going to talk about that as we go. Now, on this process, this is a pretty raw statement. And I'm looking around, and some of you guys, I'm not even the one that coaches you. And I wish none of you guys, I was the one that coached you at this moment before I say this, but a lot of you, I'm coaching you. But you're going to get mad. And during this process, you're going to feel mad at me. You're going to want to blame me when things go wrong. There are going to be times I'm probably going to feel I don't ever usually get mad. The only time I get mad at someone is if they personally attack me, but I never get mad when someone's trying. But we might get frustrated at each other, but that's part of this. And I feel like if there is one thing that keeps people from success in Isagenix, it's almost always relational. I think we look for a lot of other things, but I think most of the time it's when we feel mad at our family, our friends, because they're not supporting us. And so we quit because we don't have their support, or we get mad at our mentor and we quit, or maybe a mentor gets mad at the mentee and quits. We get mad because people are judging us and it holds us back. And so those things are things that I believe are so important. And so what you've got to know is your destiny and where you're at. You've got to be determined that you're going to patch up any issue, any relationship, that you're going to go forward, that you're always going to take the higher road, that you're always going to forgive, that you're always going to be the one. Because the minute you take that, what happens is you quit doing this. And I think to be more specific, I think so many of us are frustrated about our tree placement. We're frustrated about maybe who brought us in, why they brought us in, how they brought us in. And we get all tangled up in that and we're not working. But really, in all reality, what we've got to do is we've just got to take responsibility for where we're at. And we've got to recognize that those things are from the pit. Because if you have a why and you have a reason why you're doing this and you have a line in the sand, those things really don't matter. I mean, they really don't. And so you've got to really, really control that. And the other thing that I would say in controlling your emotions is I want to really suggest that you guys find an accountability partner. This is something that it's really hard for me to say. Like, I watched this movie. I can't remember what the movie was, but this guy couldn't tell anyone good job. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And the girl would be like, say good job. And he would be like, good job. Like, he couldn't get it out of his mouth. And when I say accountability partner, I'm a little bit like that, because I'm like, people are like so quick to get accountability partners, but this is the deal. Like, I almost cringe in saying it, because I think sometimes people will find very comfortable accountability partners, and they'll go drink coffee together and they'll whine about how their upline doesn't do enough and what's not happening and all of those type of things. But when I say accountability partner, I'm telling you, you need to find someone that is running faster than you, or at least as fast as you, someone that won't let you off the hook, someone that'll hold your feet to the fire. I mean, that's what you're looking for. And they don't have to be like, literally, for me, I don't even need my accountability partner to be accountable to me. I just need someone to be accountable to, that will hold my feet to the fire. And I'm not talking about give me a bottle and burp me. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone that will call me out when I don't show up, or someone that's always going to be there. I've had people walk away from my business before, and they'll say, I'm so sorry, Amy, that I walked away from your business, from the business. I'm going to be back. And I'm always like, listen, it doesn't matter to me. You know where to find me. Every Tuesday night, I'm doing a team meeting. I'm always here. I'm always doing trainings. My feet are always where they're supposed to be. And so you don't have to worry about me. I don't care. You know where I'm at. And that's what you're looking for, is you're looking for that person that is always there, always showing up. You're not looking for someone to go, how do you think I should do my 3-way call? Do you think, you're not looking for that at all. Not that. You're like, okay, I'm going to do 25 opportunity shares. I need to find somebody else that is doing that, that's going to call me out if I whine, that's going to call me out if I complain. That's what you're looking for. And so what I'm asking you for these 10 days is 10 days of working like men. Does that make sense? 10 days of no emotion. 10 days of I'm going to do 25 calls. 10 days of not saying, how am I going to do that? To, how am I doing this? Because I don't know how, but I am. I'm looking for 10 days. 10 days to finish what you started. Because 10 focused days, it's worth more than 100 half booty days. Does that make sense? 10 focused days, it's worth more than 100 half doing it, half in. And so that's what I'm looking for. So tonight, when I'm looking at what is it? Because this would, I need you to say I'm in. I need a message before you go to bed. Before you go to bed, send me the message of I'm in. And then I'm in or I'm out. If you're out, totally cool. High five. I don't hold anything against our relationship, whether you do it or not. I'm free. You're free. Go do it. If you want to do it, high five. You're in. Let's go. If you don't, high five. Next time, let's do it. So you let me know I'm in. The next thing I want to know is I want to know your why. The next thing that I want to know is I want you to say that you're committed to 10 days of no emotion, or harnessing your emotion, getting it under control. That's what I'm looking for. So let me know. When you say I'm in, you're going to find yourself tomorrow, probably by noon at least. There's going to be a new Facebook page. We'll be back on this at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And we're going to, it's going to be, we're going. So it's going to be an immediate go. All right. Questions, you guys? Anybody?
Where do you want us to put the your why and stuff on the new page, or
just message me, just private message me.
okay?
Yeah, it's just to me. It doesn't have to be to anybody else. Nobody else even has to see it. We're gonna do some group interaction, but like I want you to be able to get real with me, if that makes sense. Like get real with me, because realness doesn't scare me. Okay, anybody else? All right. Well, I'm excited. You guys let me know what you need. Any questions tomorrow, 9 p.m. All right, guys. Have a great
night. Thanks,
Bye,
Amy.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.